'Cause she's atypical, 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 atypical. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bree. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how I started traveling the world at 21. When I first started traveling, I was a little skeptical because I had a huge fear of heights. When I tell you I have a huge fear of heights, it was bad. I cried so bad on my first airplane ride. It was like horrible. So the first place that I went to was Miami. Now, I am from the United States near New York City. So I went to go somewhere that was far but not too far for my first plane ride in case like I freaked out and then I was like, I can't do this. Man voice. But I was able to get through it and Miami was a blast. If you are ever in Miami, please go to Wynwood. That's where all the locals go and it's lit. It's a vibe. So after Miami, I was like, it's lit, okay? I'm traveling, I'm doing this. Like, this is my calling. I need to do this more. So the next place that I went to after Miami was Texas. Now, why? I don't know. I thought Texas was gonna be like a vibe. I went to Houston, Texas. I hated it. It was hot. I didn't like the food. It was just, it just was not for me. Sorry, Texas, but that's probably the worst place I've ever visited was Texas. I kind of wrote down where I've been because sometimes it's hard to remember when you've been to a lot of places. So if you see me looking down, that's why. After Texas, I was like, okay, let me do like a test run again in the United States. I wanted to travel outside of the United States to a different country, but I was just so afraid. And like, none of my friends really wanted to travel. When I went to Texas, I went with my sister and my two friends. So I was like traveling with people. I wasn't traveling alone. So the third place that I went to was New Orleans. I love New Orleans. It was such a vibe. Like, I had fun. So I would definitely recommend if you guys are ever in the US or if you live in the US to go to New Orleans because it is a vibe, a real vibe, a great vibe. Meanwhile, I'm still in college at this point. So now it's my last year of college, 2018, and I need to go somewhere big because I'm graduating college. I got my bachelor's degree. Like, I need to celebrate. So I decided to go backpacking. Now, when I first started traveling, when I went to all the different states in the United States, I would book Airbnbs or hotels. I didn't really know much about traveling, so I was like very new. So I was spending a lot of money on unnecessary things. But I started getting smarter. I started researching more. And I was like, I'm ready to go out of the country and do this for real. So I decided to go backpacking. Now, I obviously did not understand the definition of backpacking because I left to the airport with like 4 things of luggage. Like, overpacking. Seriously overpacking.
You stupid.
They're not.
What's 9 plus 10?
21.
You stupid.
So my destination was Milan, Italy. If you see my previous video about dating in Italy, I just love Italy. Like, it's just the greatest. Obviously there are going to be some rude people wherever you go, but it's more like the aesthetics for me and the culture. Not so much as individual people. I don't really focus on that much because there's always going to be cultural barriers, so I'm very accepting to that. Okay guys, I'm sorry if it's a little bit different. My camera started overheating. So Italy, I love staying in Italy. I was there for about a month, so I really had a fun time. I learned some Italian, but it's been so long now that I've lost most of the Italian that I learned. Okay, so while I was in Italy, I did visit like other parts like Verona, which is beautiful, by the way. So if you go to Italy, you should definitely visit Verona. I didn't go to Florence. I really want to go to Florence and like Venice and stuff like that, but that is for another trip. So then after I left Italy, I went to Germany. I went to Berlin, Germany. I did not like it. That's pretty much all I have to say to that. I didn't enjoy my time there. Maybe I didn't stay long enough to like really immerse myself, but for the time that I was there, I didn't enjoy it. Okay, so then after I left Germany, I went to London. London has great tacos. I work with a guy who's from England, and when I told him this, he was just like laughing because he's like, I don't think that's something that like the UK is like known for, their tacos. But when I was there, I did have some tacos and they were bomb. So that's the one memorable thing that happened to me in London, was the tacos. So then after London, I went to Amsterdam, the Netherlands. I love the Netherlands. By far, the Netherlands is the best place that I've ever visited. Yeah, actually, I don't know. It's definitely in the top 3. So the Netherlands is definitely in the top 3 like countries that I visited. Definitely top 3. Like, it's fighting for the #1 spot, I think. It's like a tie. So if you're ever in like traveling, go to the Netherlands, go to Amsterdam. Yeah, there's like some wild stuff there, but that's not why I love it. It's just the culture and like the atmosphere, and everyone's like seems to be so nice, at least to me. Yes, I did have some issues in the Netherlands, and if you've seen the video on my ex, then you know what I'm talking about. That was a disaster. I was in the Netherlands for a while. So I was there backpacking, and then I ended up going back there to live for a little bit. And then I decided to go on another backpacking trip. I ended up going to Portugal. I love Portugal. I had some of the best vegan food in Portugal. I know you're probably like, vegan food, but I was a vegetarian then, so. Portugal is a vibe. There's hills. The hills in Portugal, insane in Portugal. So if you're going to go to Portugal, be ready to exercise. Don't say I didn't warn you. After Portugal, I went to Spain. This is why I said that the Netherlands is like fighting for like the 1 spot, because I love Spain. I went to Madrid first. It was a vibe. It was just everything you could think of. If you are traveling, please go to Madrid. I love Madrid. After I left Madrid, I actually left Spain and I went to the Czech Republic, and I went to Prague. I love Prague. I had pizza with like oil and like whole peppers. It was like weird. Like, it was like peppers and oil, and I've never had that before, but it was so good. It was like spicy and it was good. And people in Prague like literally just mind their business. Like, they're so chill, they're so calm, and they have really good architectural like sights to see, and it's just beautiful. So then after I left Prague, I went to Barcelona. So I went back to Spain because I was flying out of Spain to go back home after like my trip was done, and it was just a vibe. Oh my gosh, I love Barcelona. Between Madrid and Barcelona, like, it's a close. So like, it's like 1, 2, and 3. Like, those, like the Netherlands, Madrid, and Barcelona. Like, even though they're both in Spain, they're just so different. Barcelona and Madrid are just so different, but they're both like great. I loved it. Now I am in Korea. In South Korea. If you guys didn't know, I am now living in South Korea, and I do work in South Korea. But yeah, so a lot of you are probably wondering, like, how did I do all this traveling at such a young age? Well, I worked. and then I saved my money, and then I didn't work, and then I went on these backpacking trips. There's some times when I was still working and I would save up all my vacation days, and then I would just take like 2 weeks off, or I would just take a month off, and I would go travel the world, and it was the best feeling ever. So right now, I'm actually working in South Korea, so that's a little bit different from what I've been doing before. I usually just have a lot of money saved up, and I just take a lot of time off of work, and I just budget my money really good. Staying at hostels or staying at Airbnbs and stuff like that, there's where you can find discounts and save money and like travel smart. Yeah, so that's what I was doing, and it's a little different for me now because I'm now working and traveling, and with the whole COVID situation, I just felt that it was important to have like financial stability. And I have not been to Asia yet. I've been to Europe, I've been obviously to North America, but yeah, I think it was time for me to travel in Asia. So I want to go to every single country that I can go to in Asia. If you travel to, you're a solo traveler like me, or if you want any suggestions, or you have any questions, or you want me to make videos about traveling and like some of like the best things that's happened to me while traveling, or like some of my disaster stories, or just like any tips that you might want, just like leave a comment. And I was trying to make it so it's not too long, so I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But yeah, if you have any questions about me traveling or anything, just leave a comment down below. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.